Jason Lawrence is the points leader, a brash, sometimes outrageous, and always outspoken Californian. And guess what? That's right, that's 3, and Jason Lawrence has done it. He's won San Diego.
We're gonna go into this long break, and all he's gonna have to think about is how he blew it the past 4 races.
Minnesota native Ryan Dungey brings his Midwestern sensibilities to Supercross. Handpicked by Roger DeCoster, he has learned a tireless work ethic from 5-time champion Ricky Carmichael while at Suzuki. And Ryan Dungey wins his second. The Wild Child and the Prodigy go head-to-head for the 2008 Supercross Lights West Championship. The gate drop is next on Speed. AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship has made its way to the Pacific Northwest. Qwest Field in Seattle, Washington is the site of the final round of the Supercross Lights West Coast season. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen and welcome to a gorgeous day here in Seattle. But of course, there is a threat of rain as the night progresses, and we're set to settle what has been an outstanding championship fight. Just a week ago, we wrapped up the East Championship in a tremendous battle there, and look at how tight the West Coast is. Jason Lawrence took the points lead away from Ryan Dungey some 7 weeks ago at the last round, round 7 in Houston. While they were off, the East guys battled it out, and now we come to one race, 2 riders, and the championship is on the line here in Seattle. Well, let's introduce you to the 2 combatants that are going to be fighting for that championship here tonight. We'll begin with the points leader, Jason Lawrence, who's standing by with Aaron Bates.
Thank you, Ralph. Well, right now he's leading the Supercross Lights West Coast Series, all of 6 points, and I'm talking about the number 338 of Jason Lawrence. He might be known for his rough around the edges attitude, and he's not scared to say it exactly how it is. Jason, it's been just over 2 months since we've seen you race last. What have you been doing on your time off, and have you been using it wisely?
Yeah, I mean, we took probably about the first half to get our outdoor stuff out of the way and get ready for that season, which is coming up fast. And we took the second half just get back into Supercross. And I did a lot more Supercross riding and all that stuff than I had actually planned on doing. But, I mean, I just kind of got back into it, and I didn't want to go back outdoors, so we just kept riding Supercross for the past month.
As it's the last race of the West Coast Lights Championship, are you doing anything different to approach this last race?
No, I mean, I think it's the smartest thing to do is just do it like I've done any other race this year. And, I mean, if you look at that, if I do what I've been able to do every other main, then I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be able to get the title, but I just didn't want to switch anything up, you know, go out of my routine, so I just stuck with it.
Jason Lawrence, he may not be on a factory ride, but intimidation is not a factor for this underdog. And Jeff, I believe you've got his opponent corralled. You're standby with Ryan Dungey.
Well, thanks, Aaron. I am here with Ryan Dungey. You had it all in the beginning of the season. Midway through, things took a turn for the worse for you. But I have to think that along the way, along this journey this season, that you've learned quite a lot that you can apply here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's been a long road, lots of ups and downs, and yeah, I mean, the first 3 races went great according to plan, and then the 4th race in San Francisco, kind of a mutter, and just kind of went backwards from there. But, you know, I'm here, and there's a lot that I've learned along this journey. You know, it's last 7 races. It's been like 16 weeks, you know, total. It's just, it's all, you know, I can't say it wasn't for nothing. I'm just glad I'm here, ready to race tonight, and, you know, during the weeks, even all through the bad and the good, I've 100% prepared, ready, and I feel good, man. I'm ready to go, and you know, let's just gotta have faith. And dude, 1 race left, so try to make it happen.
Well, Dungey and Lawrence, you could not get 2 more polar opposites than these 2 young riders, both with incredible talent, and they're going to go after the West Coast Championship here tonight in Seattle. You're going to see it on Speed. Now, just a week ago, we wrapped up the East Coast Championship as Ryan Villapoto on the number 2 and Trey Kennard went at it. It was a tremendous season of drama as they swapped wins back and forth, both of them winning 3 races in the 7-round championship, and it all came down to the season finale. And that's where it wrapped up in St. Louis with Trey Canard the winner. Who will win the Lights Championship in the West?
Having a half-ton with the most legs.
The only visit to this part of the country by the Lights Series this season. We're at Qwest Field in Seattle as we get set to decide this championship. So let's show you how the championship night is going to go. We'll have 2 heat races. Top 9 from each will move straight on to the main. One last chance qualifier to get our final 4 riders for the 22-rider 15-lap main event. And this is round 8 of the 8-race season. Jeff, we've got a very rocky racetrack as we take a look at our MX versus ATV Untamed track map.
Yeah, well, I know every week you guys hear me talk about the start, but I'm telling you, the first turn area here for our championship contenders is going to be key to get through there clean. Whoop's probably going to get a little bit one fast line through there. Tough section here before the finish, but Ralph, it's the soil. Look at all the rocks that are in the track here. This is on the low side. The main cushion where the riders go is here. That low side, where all those rocks are, if a rider tries to, do a block pass, he's going to slide up through the gravel here. Same thing here. He's going to slide up, won't be able to stop. Okay, if he tries to cut down, it's going to spin out on the rear wheel. Plus, so much roost coming off the rear tires. Watch this rider in front here. It's going to be tough tonight.
And within that roost is not just pebbles, but these things are bordering on boulders. There's some huge rocks down there. Well, before we drop the first gate, let's get a Progressive pre-race report from Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, even though it's been a couple of months since we've seen the West Coast Light Supercross racers, we have seen the number 28 of Ryan Dungey make an outstanding debut in the Supercross class. Under the guidance and advice of his team manager, Roger DeCoster, he advised to race 3 of those rounds, but they didn't expect that he was going to have the results that he had. A 4th place and a 2nd place in Minneapolis, but as soon as he finished up at Minneapolis, he packed up his belongings, he went to Florida, and he sat and trained with mentor, both James Stewart, his mentor and friend, and he said best guidance he can give him is go out there and give it everything he's got, because what he's doing is going to crown him the champion.
Well, there he is, Ryan Dungey in the gate, getting set. He's in the first heat as you take a look at our Jack-in-the-Box starting lineup, scrolling across the top of the screen. Here we go. Dungey comes out with the early lead as they work their way out of the first corner.
Looks like somebody's been practicing their starts. Man, is Dungey fired up for this final round?
Whoa, and Metcalfe in the 123, right up the inside.
That's what I was talking about on the track round. It's how when you slide up under someone, you hit that loose gravel. Even though it's early and the track has just been prepped, it's very hard to hold your line. You need to get in that racing line or the cushion, if you will.
Now, Dungey was not the fast qualifier here today. He only missed it by a couple of tenths to Jason Lawrence. How much do you think that's going to affect him mentally?
Well, I think that each rider, each of these championship contenders, they want to win each one of these little battles. It's a confidence builder for sure, but you still have to go out and race it. And I'm telling you, Dungey and Lawrence have they've been amazing this year. Rider right behind him, Brett Metcalfe, has been awesome too this year. So close so many times, very strong, very fast. I'm sure he would like to get a heat race here in the final round. Okay, get that #1 pick for the main event, try to win his first of the year.
Jeff, we talked about how Dungey went off and rode some of the bigger 450 Supercross class races during the 7-week break. What does that do for him? Obviously, it helped him mentally, but how about physically and the difference between riding the 2 different bikes as you take a look at Brayton on the 114 and 3rd?
Well, yeah, as we look at 114, Brayton, he rode last week on a big bike, had a very good finish, okay, but getting back to Dungey, he needed to switch it up. The way that this series has gone was really tough for him. He went out, had some good finishes on the big bike.
Here's your battle for 4th. The 74 is Blows and Broc Hepler on the 60. Chris Blows holding the position for now on that yellow 74.
Hepler takes it, triples into the turn.
It looked like Zach Osborne getting into that fight as well. On the other blue bike, the 76.
The blue bikes just blew by Blows. Wow.
You worked hard on that line, didn't you?
He was guarding his line, and Hepler pushed him a little wide, and Osborne took advantage of that. This is a little off camber here. You see blows go to the inside. Osborne goes to the outside, carries a little more momentum.
Do you see Hepler almost come off the bike there, Jeff?
It's going to be easy to do on a track like tonight. Underneath, it's hard packed, but now, as the rider, look, Hepler triples up on there. Can he triple into the turn? That's some serious momentum. Look how much he's gapped Osborne. Osborne's hanging right in there.
It's a really good run for Zach Osborne. One of the best runs we've seen out of him this year. And of course, with this being the last points race of the year, the Lights guys will gather next week in Las Vegas, and that'll be just for the kind of all-star race, the East-West shootout. It's not a points event.
Here's Hepler just before the finish. He slides into the berm there, just comes off the berm. That berm has got a little hook in it. So if you're high, it kind of kicks you back to the right instead of really staying right down the left-hand side. And those type of berms are only going to get eaten up as the night goes on, and it's going to get rougher. Those rocks are going to come up. There's going to be a real loss of traction and the stability in the bike. So it's very hard because there's sometimes some of that loose, dark dirt that you see here in that turn. It's a little bit powdery, and then you'll go in there thinking that it's got some holes or some hold to it, and then there's a big boulder right in there. It takes your front wheel or rear wheel, spins you out.
Well, we talked about how Hepler has gapped Osborne, and that's now closed him up on Brayton, and the battle for third begins to build. White flag is out. Final lap. Top 9 are transferring. Those are the names highlighted in green. Dungey continues to lead his best lap of 52.3. He's got a healthy, almost 3-second lead over Brett Metcalfe as we watch the battle for third.
That was Hepler out of the first turn. He was tripling, missed the next thing, really had to get back on the bike to try to stretch it out. He's got just a few laps, or I mean half a lap to go here in this qualifier.
Working the final few obstacles, making their way to the finish line jump. Here comes Dungey, checkered flag. He wins the heat. Ryan Dungey wins. Metcalfe takes second. Brayton and Hepler all going on to the main, straight out of the heat. We'll be right back to Seattle.
And now, breaking news.
Pike Place Farmers Market, one of the most famous and, of course, popular for the fish toss. Oh, Andrew Short just couldn't get it. The Honda factory rider missed on his first attempt. But like any good champ, he wasn't done, and Andrew came back and caught it! Hey, nice job, Shorty. Pike Place Farmers Market, a great job by Andrew Short over there. One of the highlights of a trip to the Seattle area. Ryan Dungey takes the win. Justin Keeney, the last of the top 9 to make it straight to the main. Tiger Lacey looking at a trip to the LCQ. And we look for a trip now down to the victory podium area where our Aaron Bates is caught up with our Heat 1 winner.
Ryan Dungey rocketing out of that start gate, making his heat race look way too easy. Ryan, it's been a couple of months since we've seen you, but can you apply your experience in the 450 class to tonight's championship?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm really glad I raced the 450 class. You know, I got out there and got a lot of experience, you know, to carry over into now. But even after the 450, it's a little bit of a wait. Dude, I'm just pumped to be up here and to see all the fans again. It's great, and I just can't thank my team enough, all my family, and all my sponsors. I really appreciate it.
Ryan Dungey, 7 out of 8 heat race wins. This kid is on a roll.
Put your phone into gear with Green Alerts from Speed. Get the absolute latest racing news and results sent right to your phone. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Getting ready for heat number 2. Jason Lawrence gets stuck a little little bit deeper in the pack. He's in about third or fourth right now. And it's Austin Stroupe getting the whole shot on the green Kawasaki. Jeff, he's one of those riders that could be a bit of a dark horse in this battle. Could change things up.
Last time we seen the Supercross Lights West, it was number 51, Austin Stroupe, that won his very first main event. I had the opportunity, I stopped by the Cowie track last week, happened to see the number 51 out there busting out laps late in the day. Dedicated. He just is so strong on the bike and so confident now with the whole West Coast season under his belt.
Jeff, let's go back and take a look at the start that Jason Lawrence had, because it wasn't one of his best.
Well, here's our points leader, 338 on the Yamaha. Jason Lawrence, he takes a little nudge, has to stop. He was a little bit anxious. And you see him just get buried in the pack here. There's only about 3 or 4 bikes behind him right there. Not the start you want on championship night.
No, and here is Jason Lawrence battling in 7th. Even worse than I originally thought. He's fighting with Matt Lemoyne right now on the 52.
Is the yellow flags for someone?
Stroupe, it's Stroupe who's off. Austin Stroupe is crashed, and he's back up and going. Let's see, that's the one problem Austin's had. He's been riding so fast this year, just hasn't put it all together each and every round.
Well, this is going to be easy to describe here. He triples in, comes around, just loses the front. Oh, he actually hooks up. He starts to slide out, and then it hooked on him. It actually caught and just high-sided him right as he rolled over that little single.
So Stroupe gets going again.
Well, if anybody can work their way back up to the front, it's going to be Austin Stroupe. This kid is fast right now.
Oh, boy, is he ever. And Dan Reardon goes to the front. Canary, Hahn, and Gavin Gracyk in the top 4, and Lawrence sits in 5th.
And isn't this just what Dan Reardon needs after that heartbreaking heat loss at Anaheim, where he led until the last turn?
Yeah. Well, he's had some 450 experience since we last saw him on a lights bike. In fact, a lot of us thought maybe he'd ride a 450 here.
Yeah, and what that does for these riders, you know, back in my day, it was the 252 stroke, and then the 125 was the little bike. You go ride those big 450s, they weigh a lot more, they have a lot more power. You put some time on it, okay, you build your strength. Then when you get back on your little bike here, the 250Fs, if you will, you can just hammer these things.
Lawrence really making some aggressive moves to work his way up through the field. Here he comes. Looks like he's up to 3rd, right behind Canary. And Austin Stroupe is closing in as well again.
That's Will Hahn that Lawrence just got past.
Canary's on that 45.
This is only a 6-lap race.
Here comes Stroupe, Jeff.
6-lap race, and Lawrence has already worked his way up to 3rd. There goes 1st in the background.
Whoa, Stroupe, hard landing. Awkward as well.
Oh, he's going for it. You know he's bummed that he fell there, that he gave away this heat race win. Two laps to go. It's going to be tough to win it, but...
And the best lap time, Jeff, a 53.3 by Reardon.
Well, we compare that to our first heat race. The fastest lap of the night so far has been set by Broc Hepler at 52.2. Dungey and Metcalfe were both in the mid-52s.
There's Lawrence, I should say. Lawrence trying to get to the inside of Canary, and looked like he was going to make it, but it didn't stick.
And this really is a good track for a rider like Jason Lawrence because he's so loose on the bike, such a talented Supercross racer. I think he likes to ride a little bit loose. He likes when the bike's kind of sliding around. He favors these type of tracks that are a little softer.
Jeff, he pretty much stopped training with Brian Hughes, who was working with him all season long, and a lot of folks, as the white flag comes out, including us, thought that Brian Hughes' work with Jason Lawrence was a big part of the speed and confidence that he found throughout the season. How do you think that's going to affect him in this final round?
Well, I think if he wins, it's not going to be a big deal. If he doesn't win, then everyone is going to point the fingers at that, bottom line.
Well, he gets around Canary, so he's up to 2nd. Here's Reardon, our race leader, as they work their way around on the final lap. Stroupe now up to 3rd and closing on Lawrence. That could be the battle to the line. Reardon's got this one handily in front, and just behind him you're going to see Lawrence and Stroupe and Canary. Checkered flag for Dan Reardon. He wins heat number 2. Lawrence will take second just in front of Austin Stroupe. So Dungey wins a heat. Lawrence gets a terrible start, but battles his way to second as Reardon wins heat 2.
It's been 40 fast years.
Here to Qwest Field, which is where the Supercross Lights West Coast season is wrapping up the championship. We just completed heat number 2, 9 more riders transferring on to the main event. Dan Reardon takes the win. Sean Skinner comes home in 9th, so that means he's going on to the main. Kyle Beaton will go to the last chance qualifier, and we go down to the victory podium. Here's Aaron.
Well, guys, it took 8 rounds, but Dan Reardon finally takes his first heat race win of the season. Dan, you had quite the hiatus, 2 months, in fact, to heal up some injuries like a shoulder and a finger. How beneficial was that time off for you?
Beneficial? I don't think so. You know, it's I've had a long list of little injuries that have been affecting me over the past. So right now everything's clear and good to go. So you know, I feel great tonight. You know, the track's good and just pumped to be here. You know, big shout out to the boys from Torco Racing Fuels Honda. And like I said, this is the first time standing on this thing, and you know, it feels good.
Dan Reardon, he's no stranger to the podium. He has taken 3 Supercross Australian championships. We'll see if he'll be able to take a win here in the main event.
There's a good look at the stadium here at Qwest Field. Let's show you our Toyota moving forward schedule. Only 1 lights race left to go. It's a non-points race, the Davy Coombs Senior Memorial East-West Shootout. It'll be at Sam Boyd Stadium. Next week in Las Vegas, you'll see it on speed. These young kids having a great time. Supercross, such a great family sport. Let's show you the highlights now from the Supercross Lights Last Chance Qualifier. The Last Chance Qualifier underway. 4 riders transferring to the main event. And it's Tiger Lacey. We're working our way close to the halfway point. Kyle Beaton in second, challenging for the lead. And also, here comes Lacey in that mix.
3 riders, oh! Gonzalez fails to complete the triple. He drops from 1st to 4th with 1 straightaway. All 4 of these riders are in the position to qualify for the main. They do not want to start running into each other, start block passing. They need to race forward. Oh!
That's the 86 of Willard.
That's Lacey going backwards once again. Here comes Kyle Cunningham. Cuts down underneath. That's going to put him into 4th position. He's in the main.
Supercross Lights Last Chance Qualifier. Oh! Down goes Tiger Lacey. He was in second, Jeff. A great transfer spot, and that's wasted now. Getting ready for the checkered flag, and Kyle Beaton takes the win. Who's going to join him? Willard, Cunningham, and final spot, and Lacey comes up short by 1. A big part of a Supercross weekend is the pit party, and here at Qwest Field, one of the best of the year. So much to see and do, tons of interactive stuff, and of course, there's always a checkered flag involved. And you can rock out here as well. Stay with us, we're coming back for more racing. It's all Lights West Coast Division. Final race of the 2008 championship, and it's gonna be settled here tonight. Before we get set to drop the gate, let's check in with Aaron Bates for a Progressive pre-race report.
Well, guys, crazy accusation, rumors and speculation have been circulating in the pits all afternoon long that there was a possible drug test protest against Jason Lawrence. This sport is so based upon mind games that the only thing that the Yamaha Troy boys have figured out is that earlier in the season, Jason Lawrence found a way to get inside of Ryan Dungey's head and rattle his cage a little bit, frustrate him, and ultimately making a couple of mistakes. They figure that this is the way Ryan Dungey is retaliating back at Jason Lawrence, but at this point of the season, all games are on, all team tactics are on. The championship is on the line.
Let's show you the up close as they line up in the gate. 22 riders for 15 laps. Dungey won his heat race. Lawrence did not, but Lawrence was quicker in qualifying earlier today. They are lined up, ready to go. And technically, Jeff, there's 4 riders who are still mathematically in the title chase. These two are the biggest chase. But you also have Metcalfe and Stroupe.
Yeah, if you take a look, Lawrence, top 3, guarantees himself the championship. All the trash talking is done. There's no more talking left. You got to go out and race it. I'm telling you, I think these guys are going to fight tooth and nail all the way to the checkered flag.
Jason Lawrence and Ryan Dungey. You could not find 2 more polar opposites as you look at our progressive starting lineup going across the top of the screen, and they will admit it.
Oh, most definitely. These 2 riders, they're going at it right here. Main event in Seattle.
Here we go. The Lights West Championship on the line. Dungey getting the whole shot.
Lawrence is in 3rd.
Now he's in 4th. Here goes Dungey. Disappearing out front, doing exactly what he's got to do. He's got to win. There goes Lawrence. He's in 4th.
That's Canary in 2nd.
Canary's in 2nd.
Brayton 3rd. Jason Lawrence, our points leader, is in 4th.
And it looks like Hepler behind him.
Hepler has been on the gas today. He had the fastest lap in qualifying. Hepler could be a spoiler.
And not easy for Jason Lawrence at this point.
Jason Lawrence gets bottled up behind Brayton.
He sure did, and that allowed Hepler to close in.
He closed in, but Hepler got off the throttle and let Lawrence go back by. So right away, the orders are out from Yamaha. No blue bikes go past Jason Lawrence.
Let's take a look at a progressive whole shot replay.
And you can see right in the middle of your screen, Ryan Dungey is there first, but squeezing right around the inside. The 45 of Canary just edges him out at the stripe.
Well, I'll tell you what, for Lawrence, getting passed by your teammate is the least of his worries right now, because Metcalfe is charging hard up through the field and is going to be right in the thick of things here soon.
And the 51 of Austin Stroupe, who is so fast in his heat races at 10th now. Metcalfe working his way up.
Brayton on the 114 in 2nd place. So there you see him.
We've seen Dungey get out in front in some races earlier this season and throw it away. You have to think that he's going to ride a little more cautious, but he's doing exactly what he has to do, and he's going to let this championship unfold behind him.
And remember, Lawrence only needs to pass one more guy as these 2 battle side by side, bar to bar for 2nd. Oh! And off goes Brayton, and that'll put Lawrence right up. Oh, he didn't get around him.
Brayton goes back in a safe spot,
which is what you have to do according to the rule book. And here comes Lawrence up the inside. That'll put him to 3rd. That would give him the championship.
You seen how Brayton, once Lawrence had the wheel on him, he really didn't push for it. He just went ahead and let the points racers do their thing.
But Jeff, Metcalfe is climbing hard. There he goes in the green. Here's a replay of that.
Watch Brayton. He gets off to the side and actually jumps right over the tough blocks. You see there's no place to enter safely. He does the right thing. He gets on. Here's another look. Watch Brayton get the huckabuck going and just wheelies right over those. So dangerous when you get around those tough blocks. He was very fortunate. Keep that KTM on 2 wheels.
Here's Metcalfe closing on Brayton. And Hepler's coming with him.
Metcalfe is by Hepler. Metcalfe is working his way forward. Stroupe's working his way through the pack also.
And meanwhile, Ryan Dungey, 52-1, his best lap, and that was the last lap. Doing what he's got to do, win the race. Hope that something happens behind you. As of now, Lawrence would win it by 1 unless somebody can get back around Lawrence. Lawrence going to work on Canary.
Lawrence to the inside.
But Canary battles back. Hard, I might add.
Canary really putting in a fantastic ride here in the final round of this West Coast Championship.
And Jeff, the other thing we don't know is we are a third of the way through this championship battle, is we don't know what the endurance of Jason Lawrence is going to be, because we haven't seen him in a few weeks, and we've heard that he's not working out with Ryan Hughes, that he has changed his training program. We know that Dungey rode in the Supercross class. We know he's good, so Aaron, anything can happen as this one winds down. The battle
Well, guys, what I can tell you is both Ryan Dungey and Jason Lawrence mechanics are vigorously writing on their boards, but the funny part is both of them are telling their riders the exact same thing. Be smart. Both of them have both of that be smart on those clipboards, and they're trying everything in their power to make this championship work.
There you see the mechanics area. That's Dungey's mechanic. Focus.
Focus and his lap time for Ryan Dungey. He needs to just stay focused, make no mistakes, keep racing forward. He can't control what's going to happen behind him, only his own race. And first off, he needs to get maximum amount of points. Secondly, is for him to win this championship, Jason Lawrence has to finish outside of the top 3 if he wins.
Jeff, let's take a look. You know, these whoops have been tough, and watch what happened to Robert Canary in the yellow riding gear.
Just gets a little huckabuck. You see the line right down there through the middle. Just kind of rides that bike to the ground.
Dungey, meanwhile, just lapping solidly here tonight. 51.9, his best lap. Told us earlier today that running those Supercross races did a lot to get him mentally back where he needed to be, as this West Coast Championship had slipped away from him after he came out so strong in the early stages of the season and held on to the points lead for so long. He's leading for now here in Seattle. We'll be right back to see who will be on the top step of the podium as the West Coast champ. This, the 8th and final round, contested here in Seattle, Washington. Ryan Dungey led the title for most of the season, slipped to second at the last round, which was 7 weeks ago in Houston, Texas. Dungey leading here tonight in Seattle. That's what he has to do if he wants any hope of winning this championship. The problem is Jason Lawrence sits in second, which would give him a 3-point gap in the championship chase if they hold it this way all the way to the checkers.
Well, Ryan Dungey put in a fantastic ride here. He's taking a look over his shoulder. He sees the 338 there running in second. He cannot control what happens to him. He needs to keep focused, win the race. Putting in a great ride here. Maybe too little, too late though.
So many points over the season where Dungey had things in control and it just slipped away from him. And you got to give Jason Lawrence credit. When those doors opened, he kicked them open and capitalized on the points.
Well, and he did that. Where he really rattled Ryan Dungey was by getting in his head, trash-talking him, taunting him in qualifying practice, during track walk. Really confident in his own skills and his own ability. And to a rider like Dungey, he had never approached or had never encountered anyone quite like Jason Lawrence. And at this point, it's looking like it's going to play out for Jason Lawrence.
Metcalfe is about 4 seconds behind Lawrence with 6 laps to go.
And Metcalfe is running about 0.6 of a second faster than Lawrence. The last thing he wants to see is Brett Metcalfe or Hepler. Austin Stroupe's up to 5th right now. He is absolutely blazing the track at a 52.7, the fastest laps right now. Austin Stroupe.
That's Metcalfe in green, closing. That's the 76 bike, a lapper. But here comes Metcalfe.
Getting lapped, yeah. Metcalfe extremely fast through here. He has got a great line. I've been watching that this whole race.
Here's Gavin Gracyk on the 273.
And look at the pebbles and the rocks really coming up, Ralph. That's why
here's Dungey.
Dungey going right through the main line.
Canary's back in 20th.
Keeping it on 2 wheels that time.
Here's Lawrence.
Nice, comfortable second.
There you see Metcalfe on the green bike. They're trying to get around Osborne, and Hepler's coming with him. Now, you said that it looked like Hepler wasn't going to try to get around Lawrence, So we're going to need probably more than Metcalfe to get around Lawrence to see any change in the championship.
To see any change, yeah. Hepler putting in a really good ride right now. And it's in Yamaha's best interest for Hepler to get up there and take that position from Metcalfe just to assure that no other bikes even come close to Lawrence.
They're now about a second and a half behind Lawrence, and Stroupe is about 4 seconds behind them. Oh, down goes Metcalfe, but there goes Stroupe. That changes things in the championship. Just when it looked like Lawrence was going to have to deal with some challenges, they went away.
Watch here, watch Hepler go to the inside. He's been working this line all night.
Oh, contact there.
He muscles Metcalfe out of the way, and you see he didn't push him down, but then Metcalfe just cannot get the front wheel away from this tough block. Too bad for Metcalfe. He was really flying, putting in a great ride. And that's going to change things, because at that position that they were in, he would have taken third away from his teammate, Austin Stroupe, who was riding from way behind.
That's Stroupe. That's Metcalfe still working his way up now. There's our race leader, Ryan Dungey. We called him the Prodigy in the open of the show. Suzuki's hopeful replacement for Ricky Carmichael.
Well, if you remember back to Ricky Carmichael's lights career, he had a steep learning curve at times also. He was very fast, won a lot of races, you know, and you make some mistakes along the way. That's acceptable. What's not acceptable is you don't learn, if you don't learn from your mistakes. But I think Ryan Dungey has done that. And going out and riding those Supercross events on the big bikes and having some awesome rides. I mean, unbelievable finishes. That second in Minneapolis, that was just what he needed to just shake up the season and just to get out of that bad vibe that he was in. Come back and win this final race. He's done what he can do if he holds on for a lap and a half.
And how about Jason Lawrence, Jeff? This is a kid who's always shown tremendous amounts of speed. There's been a lot of questions about him as to his commitment, his dedication.
Well, he's definitely
what
answered.
What will this do for him as far as the manufacturers looking at him? He doesn't have a factory ride. Will this get him one?
Well, he rides for Yamaha Troy, and essentially this is one of those teams that is up to they provide the same support as any factory ride out there. They've been Yamaha team for a long time, had a lot of success. Now, with 1 lap to go, Jason Lawrence is next in line to be another lights champion that Yamaha Troy has produced.
Well, Jason Lawrence said he was going to take care of it this weekend. A lot of people questioned what would happen. He hadn't been training. He basically disappeared off the grid for the last 7 weeks. A lot of people didn't hear from him, didn't know what was going on with him. He said all was good, and it looks like it just may be.
Oh, it is going to be great for Jason Lawrence. This is going to be a sweet championship if he can make it 2 more turns.
Checkered flag for Ryan Dungey. He wins in Seattle the last lights race. But the championship, the 2008 Supercross Lights West Coast title, goes to the 338 of Jason Lawrence. He's done it.
What a season for Jason Lawrence. Did exactly what he had to do in this final round. Now he is the 2008 Supercross Lights West champion. That is a great feeling, Ralph.
Oh, what a year it has been in the lights. Trey Kennard in the East and Jason Lawrence in the West.
Every great driver meets
Battle 2008 Supercross Lights West Coast Championship is going to go to Jason Lawrence. He finished second here tonight. That's all he had to do. Ryan Dungey did what he came here to do, and that's win the race. But it wasn't enough because Lawrence finished second. We also saw Austin Stroupe battled all the way up to fourth. Not enough to help change the results in the championship. Well, let's go meet the new champ. He's standing by with Aaron.
Well, Jason Lawrence was the underdog coming into the season, but now he's sporting the 2008 AMA West Coast Lights champion. Jason, all of your hard work paid off. What do you have to say to all of your critics out there?
Oh, I mean, I don't think they have much to say now. I'm just happy. I'm more about proving to my supporters that they were right all along than proving to the haters that they were wrong. So I'm happy for Scott Sipkovic, my team manager. I'm not even going to try and name all the guys. They all know who they are, and they're all awesome, and they're the reason I'm here right now.
It was a tough road, but it all paid off. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to get to see Jason Lawrence and Ryan Dungey and the guys from the East battle one more time. There's Broc Hepler, who helped out so much tonight gaining that championship, because they're all headed to Vegas next weekend, and Speed's going too. It's part of the Davy Coombs Senior Memorial East-West Shootout for the Lights Stars. It's a non-points race, but boy, is there a lot of pride and huge bragging rights on the line. The only time the East and West Coast Stars match up, and boy, is that going to be fun to watch. Kennard, Dungey, Villapono, and Lawrence go at it. Well, here it is. 3 points of difference, and congratulations to Jason Lawrence, because every time that door opened, he blasted through, took advantage of it, and gained the championship. But Ryan Dungey was spectacular as well, and he's our winner tonight, Aaron.
Ryan Dungey, he just said it best. He said, boy, did that one ever hurt. But Ryan, you did everything in your power and everything in your control, what you could do. Taking a look back at the season, what would you have done differently?
A few things, you know. I mean, I just, you know, I got to give it up. I gave it my all every round, you know. There's some things where I could have worked on. I went wrong, but you know, that's the beauty of getting better. There's always something to work on. But, dude, I'm just happy I'm 100% healthy. You know, great job to Lawrence and his team. And but I got to thank my team, Rockstar Makita Suzuki, my mom, my dad, all my brothers, and, you know, One Industries, Oakley, Target, Answer, Garnet, and, dude, everybody. I'm just pumped that, you know, the win was great tonight. Did all I can in my power, and next year there's outdoors coming up, and then, you know, this is the sport I love. And I'll never, dude, I'll never quit. I'll always give it my all. And to all you fans supporting, man, it's awesome. I enjoy this.
Once again, great job.
Class act, Ryan Dungey. And we'll get to see him as our Toyota moving forward schedule shows you that we're headed to Vegas. You'll see that East-West shootout here on Speed, May 10th from Vegas, Sam Boyd Stadium, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let's head right back to Aaron.
Well, the last time we got to see Broc Hepler was at Anaheim 3 until he was on the sidelines with an injury. Broc, what does this mean to you to make a comeback, but also to make it up here on the podium?
Well, it's great. You know, Yamaha went 1-3 tonight, so it was great we could get a championship, but also another podium. You know, this is a good race for me, and hopefully we can even do better next week at the East-West Shootout.
Is your wardrobe looking a little boring? Well, add some color with a visit to the all-new Speed store. We're talking brand new top-notch styles that you've got to have. Speed polos, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and more. Check it out now at speedtv.com, keyword swag. Well, the Supercross Lights West Coast Championship is all wrapped up. Ryan Dungey wins the last race of the year, but congratulations to the newly crowned champ, Jason Lawrence. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emick, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long, everybody.